Hi, and welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Michael McKeever, and I'll be your host today. Today, we're venturing into a brand new territory. You'll see how in just a few minutes. But first, let's introduce our panelists. First up, Karen Stevens. Karen is an award-winning actress who can be seen performing all over South Florida. Bill Hirschman. Bill is an arts journalist and founder of FloridaTheaterOnStage.com. And our very special guest panelist today is the one and only Will Schreiner, who is an actor, comedian, film director, and screenwriter. He is one busy guy. Today, our very special guest is Matt Florio, who is an actor and a filmmaker. This South Florida native has created a number of award-winning web series. So, Matt, before we get into it, you brought a clip with you from one of your series. Could you tell us what it is?
Yeah, this is my latest series, Son of a, ... And it's about a son who moves back in with his father after his mother passes away.
Sounds great. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry about losing touch after high school.
Dude, don't worry about it. It happens.
No, it doesn't just happen. It's a total douche move, man. I went to college. I turned my back on everybody, especially you.
Exactly. You went to college. I didn't get a chance to go to college. I was happy for you. So what do you do now anyways?
I am a CPA.
Oh, man! I always knew you'd end up with some wild and crazy job.
You don't know what a CPA is, do you?
Not really, no.
Yeah. It's an accountant.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, hey, what about you, huh? Come on, what are you doing? What are you doing? Something nuts, crazy? What are you doing? What are you up to?
Well, I don't mean to brag, but remember in high school I was a pool boy.
That's right. You used to drive around the truck.
Yeah. Now I'm a pool man.
Awesome. That's awesome, dude. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I can't believe you decided to come. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, well, I don't know about all that, but, you know, my dad took up clogging, so this seemed better.
I feel like Denzel in Training Day. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Dude, that's Chris Tucker in Rush Hour.
No, that's Jackie Chan you're thinking of.
No, the other guy.
Yeah, Jackie Chan's the other guy.
No, he's the Chinese guy.
Chris Tucker is the Chinese guy? Agree to disagree, my friends. Okay. It's pool time. Catchphrase.
Oh, that's really good.
I know, right?
I like it, yeah.
Marinelli, what the hell is wrong with you?
Well, I don't think there's anything really wrong with me. Unique, maybe.
It was a rhetorical question, Marinelli. Why did you urinate in Mr. Stewart's pool?
I was cleaning the pool and then I had to pee.
And
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, you're right, Marinelli, that is it. I'm tired of cleaning up after your dirty work. You're suspended!
What?
2 weeks, no pay!
Oh, come on. For peeing in a pool?
That's right, hotshot, suspended, both of you!
I don't even work here.
Come again?
This is my friend. He just wanted to get out of the house.
Oh, boy. Let me get this straight. You took a civilian on a ride-along without my authorization.
I mean, it was pretty much a public service. His dad's clogging.
You're fired!
It's great stuff. All right, so Matt, bravo.
Thank you.
First off, let's just explain to those of us who don't know what a web series is. What is a web series?
A web series is basically a television show, not on television. It's shorter in content and it's on the web.
How long do they each episode normally run?
My episodes, for instance, that show were about 10 minutes in length, which is still too long for the attention span of people online.
Amazing.
You know, they're used to like cat videos that are 30 seconds long or something. But it's it's a little bit harder to tell the story because it's more of like a sitcom. So it's in 10 minutes, you're still trying to tell a story that normally would be 22 running minutes with a normal sitcom or whatever. But I mean, you could watch the whole series. You could watch the entire season in an hour.
I love it. I love it. And there are seasons. In other words, you've just finished shooting Son of a.
Yeah.
season 1.
Yeah.
Will there be a season 2?
I don't know. I kind of, this is the 4th series that I did, and I kind of told the stories in one season. I'd like there to be other seasons, but I always come up with something new, and I want to shoot something else. They're pretty much proof of concepts for to pitch as sitcoms for, Netflix or any network or.
Got it. Got it. That was going to be my question. Why a web series as opposed to pitching a sitcom or a show to?
It's kind of hard to get people to read anything. They usually ask you, did you write for Seinfeld? Do you know Tom Hanks? And they're like, no. So it's hard to get people to read unsolicited scripts. So I said, this was a way of me showcasing my writing, and actually getting to film things, work with other, everything I do is comedy, so to work with a number of stand-up comics, to work with comedic actors, improvisers, and stuff. So, we just, it was a way to shoot it and to still be able to pitch it later. We cut them into reels and pilots and sent them around to the film festivals, and there's actually web festivals now.
Amazing.
So, which I don't really know. I probably like cutting off my nose to spite my face here, but I don't know who goes to a web festival when you can see it online.
online.
So,
Networking.
But no. So I mean, they've done well. The pilots, the individual episodes and stuff, and we've been. We just keep shooting new content.
Well, it's really good stuff. It's really funny and it's smart stuff as well. Did you go to school? Did you study film? Or?
No, I graduated with a business degree, and I worked for a number of startup companies run by really not bright people. And so I kind of learned what not to do. But I mean, after sitting at a desk and the shirt and the tie, I mean, I get dressed up for a wedding or God forbid a funeral, but it just wasn't me. So I kind of started just writing just to like vent. And I linked up through a friend. I linked up with somebody who went to film school, and I said, I got some ideas. Would you take a look at them? This isn't my line of work. And he thought they were great, and that friend became a writing partner. We wrote a number of scripts, and then I just gave up everything and moved to New York. And then I came back just in time to the tax incentives to be gone.
That brings up something as a business school graduate.
Yeah.
Most people who are just beginning to discover web series haven't a clue what the fiscal end of it is. Who finances you? Where do you make your money?
Well, it's funny because I mean it's actually something Will and I were talking about in the green room, and even when you say no budget, there still ends up being some kind of budget.
Yeah.
So that was all money that I made through business that I spent. You're paying for food, you're paying for props, and traveling people. So it ends up costing me money, but it's not some big budget production.
But is there like a sale to somebody? You mentioned Netflix. Does somebody like that then reimburse you by your work?
Well, these I don't think these would ever. They're only 10 minutes each, so these would never air on a normal television. But I think pitching the show in general, like we cut reels, we cut like a sitcom pilot, like a 22-minute sitcom pilot. So those are things that I think that I can pitch to networks. I mean, it's a little hard to break through those doors to actually get them to watch it, because they always say, oh, nothing unsolicited. They might have somebody else working on something similar, and then, like I'm going to win a lawsuit with NBC. So, yeah, I mean, they, as far as getting the people, I mean, I mean, you guys all know, you're all talented people, like, there's so much talent out there that people always want to do something. And the way I've always did it, I started off making short films. I was able to shoot in say like a weekend or something like that, so I can get some people to give up a weekend of their time. I mean, even if it's just like a day. There were comedians that I would go into the Comedy Cellar that were, they were appearing on the major shows, the Tonight Show and all those shows, Conan, and I would ask them. I said, hey, would you do a spot in my show if I could write it for you? I mean, I'll shoot it around your schedule. And I was kind of able to talk my way into that, because when people read, I consider myself a writer first, they would read it and they said, this is really funny. And with any comedian, I mean, and Will knows he's directed the best sitcoms there ever were. You know, with a great comedian, you know, you kind of give them walls and you say, okay, well, you have to stay within that space, but go crazy.
But the ultimate end product, is it that you're just looking for hits online, or is
No,
there something out here you're aiming at?
I mean, it's nice to watch, but I mean, I was just with some family over Thanksgiving, and I got my cousins asking me, like, hey, what's a good show that I could binge watch? You know, I got 4 shows online. They're like, really? You got 4 shows? I'm like, nobody watches anything. You know, my own family doesn't watch it, but it's you know, it's not so much to get hits online. I mean, I did it to kind of showcase my writing when nobody would read the scripts that I was writing, because I still have like 24 scripts that I have that are just I wasn't able to kind of get the resources. So it's just I kind of go through withdrawals. You know, I engulfed myself when I was in New York, and I got involved in like sketch comedy and improv and stand-up for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I ended up in acting, and I kind of got typecast as, you know, without the facial hair, I got typecast as like a cop. And I said all these roles, like the Law and Orders, the NCIS, you know, all those kind of shows, like there was nothing funny about them, and I wanted to do comedy stuff. And little did I know that when I started shooting my own stuff, I was typecasting myself as an idiot. Every character is not too bright.
But the whole reason you do these is to invest in your future, so you can showcase. That's why people do web shows, is to get seen, to get exposure.
Yeah.
Today, everybody can create some kind of content for the tube, for YouTube. I mean, the kid that does reviews, a 7-year-old kid does reviews of game, made $11 million last year on YouTube.
It's
crazy.
crazy.
So there's a great potential and there's a great outlet, and we now used to live in a system where you had to get to the studio people. Now, like Matt's doing, he's creating his own future, and that's the beauty of the web.
Like the Cinderella story can happen like it did for Issa Rae, who had a web series that is now on HBO.
Yeah.
So ultimately, that is, you know, that's the goal, I would assume, is to get your work out there and have it seen by people who want to take you to the bigger arena.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, if you were, I just want to make people laugh. So just making comedy in general, the more people that you can make laugh, the better. It's funny. I don't know if you're familiar with a singer named Peter Lemongello. Is a singer back in the 70s, and he was on the Tonight Show a bunch of times. Well, he's one of my comedian friends, Mike Marino, that's his cousin, and we were, you know, here's a guy who was on the Tonight Show 25 times, and we were talking the other day, and I said, is it harder now? Because now you have digital cameras, and now you have, you know, used to be if you had the money for the film, you could shoot something. Now it's like everybody's got a digital camera. They're shooting films on phones. So there's so much content online that it's like for people to be able to find you is becoming tough. He said that he thinks it's harder now than it was then.
It's harder to rise from the because there is so much there to choose from. So it's harder to get noticed.
Right.
I had a show on YouTube and it was canceled. That's how tough it's been. That's a joke.
We've got another clip from another one of your series. This one called Web Series.
Yeah.
We're going to take a look at that right now. Before we do, let's give it a breakdown of what we're about to watch.
You ever see the movie Inception? How it's like a dream within a dream within a dream? Yeah. Well, this is kind of Inception for idiots. It's a web series about shooting a web series called Web Series. They said it couldn't be done.
Not this guy.
They said you needed an agent.
Screw agents.
They said you needed money.
Who needs money when you have creativity?
Well, guess what? They did not count on us.
That's right.
The greatest crew in the history of film.
Yeah, the best.
Dodge, our producer. A man who will get you anything you need and give you anything you want.
Anytime.
High five.
No way.
Okay. Katie, my personal assistant. She aids me in my greatness and wants to be in the film business more than anything in the world.
Actually, I'm just afraid if I don't have enough...
More than anything in the world, Katie. Carl. The most amazing camera dude of all time.
When are we going to study accounting?
Not now, Carl. Luis, a man who lives and breathes sound recording.
I mean, I just like to dance.
And then, of course, there's Umberto. Where the hell's Umberto?
Hey, he'll be a few minutes. He's coming. Trust me, he's coming.
She's perfect. Katie, send all the girls home. We have our female lead.
Thank you. Are you sure?
I'm sure. And while you're at it, send the guys home too. I'm gonna play the male lead.
What? You?
We have chemistry.
You can't act.
I can act. Besides, who better to read my own words than me?
Dude, you suck. You got no it factor.
I do not suck. And this is it. This is totally it. And I have sex appeal.
I agree with Dodge. I don't think this is the best idea.
Thank you.
Okay, both of you have no clue what you're talking about. 3 words. Freddie got fingered.
The Tom Green movie?
That's the one. Dodge.
Damn it, Katie, he's right. He wrote, starred, and directed in it.
And?
And it was pure genius.
Exactly.
Huh?
This is the big action finish? It's supposed to be a boat chase.
What do you think this is? Max, you're not looking at the big picture. This is the way it's done. It's all CGI nowadays.
Do you even know what CGI means?
No? Do you?
No.
Look, don't worry about it. It's gonna be spectacular. Hey, hey, look at that, huh? Rifles. Huh? Da, 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 da.
It's a web series. Not a friggin' pool party.
Spectacular.
Great stuff. Matt, what advice would you give to someone who wants to start a web series? How do you go about starting something like this up?
Just to find other people that are looking to collaborate. I mean, there's so many people out there that are looking to do stuff. I mean, actors are going on auditions all the time, but if you're really an actor, you want to act. So, you can find actors out there that are willing to, work for just credits or just even for, for clips to update their reels.
Sure.
People that want to play, maybe they're not getting the roles that they wish that they got, and even crew. I mean, cinematographers are always trying to update their reels. There's always directors that are in between projects that are looking to do stuff. So it's really just a matter of finding, whether it's through Facebook groups or, Craigslist or there's a bunch of acting and crew websites, and just finding peers. And I always took the philosophy that, there's strength in numbers. So I never tried to do everything myself. The worst thing you can see at like a film festival is like, directed by Bob Smith, starring Bob Smith, makeup by Bob Smith. There's people out there that don't do what I do. Like, I don't know how to edit. The producer of this show, Mark, edited my last series, Son of a, and he did an amazing job. And I don't know how he sits in front of that computer and edits, because I couldn't do it. I go crazy. So just finding other people that do what they do, and combining everybody's talents, and I think you can and especially there's no rhyme or reason to the length of time too online. Your series could be a minute, it could be, each episode could be a minute, and there don't have to be 20 something episodes. So you can there's no it's just no I don't know, I guess the word I'm looking for is
no template that you have to follow.
There's no template to it. It's just, there's people that I know that do series, and it's literally them in front of their computer screen, and they just add a credit at the beginning and at the end.
No rules, just right.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about, as someone who's created a website from scratch, one of the things that I'm curious that you've learned is, as we always say, you could have the secret of life.
Yeah.
But if nobody knows you're there, it doesn't matter. So what do you do in terms of marketing or spreading the word, or how do you let people know you exist?
Yeah, I mean, social media now. You got to be on social media. It's kind of like if you're not on social media, you're dead. Like you don't exist. In order to stay relevant, you got to be showing up, whether it's a picture, a selfie of you drinking a coffee or something. It's just, that's kind of how it's been. So I do everything under like Comedy Flow Entertainment is the name of, I guess you'd say, my production company, and everything's under there. And, you know, I'm just constantly posting stuff, sharing stuff. I mean, the last series, there was 100 people that worked on it, between crew and extras and everything. So you try to get them to help out and spread the word, you know, when their episode comes out that they're in or something. But that's something I haven't figured out. I'm not really the greatest promoter. I haven't been able to get the word out. I mean, when, as I said, if your own family is not watching some of your stuff, you got some work to do. But you know, it's the right person needs to see it.
Yeah, the industry is fascinated by social media. When my son's an actor in Los Angeles, and when he goes to an audition, they ask him, how many followers do you have? Wow. So if two kids are reading for the same part, and one has 10,000 followers and one has 2, the kid with 10,000 gets the part. It's this fascination that this social media is going to bring an audience to all of our stuff. Jeffrey Katzenberg, who's been very successful in DreamWorks and everything, has started a network with Meg Whitman. They're going to do 2-minute content. Everything's going to be 2 minutes or less, and they've got billions of dollars to do it. And this is a new thing that's starting out. So there's a fascination. We're all watching stuff on our mobile now. That's, of course, and this is where the industry thinks it's all going, that people are going to be consuming their media on an iPad or an iPhone or whatever. So it's really a lot of opportunity, and the goal is, how do you get noticed? And that's right. And nobody knows that answer.
I guess that's where it really comes down to, is just getting noticed, getting those clicks, getting those views.
Well, there's ways to optimize that, search engine optimization, and there's keywords and things that will find an audience. Like when I market stuff that I do, you have to buy Google AdWords, you have to do a lot of different things to get people. So it's not free. I mean, you have to spend money. You know, Matt went through a huge trust fund making all these short films.
Well, it's amazing how the world is changing, how entertainment is changing, and how I wanted to ask you. I guess it's a little, well, it's great that this is a brand new medium and that it's constantly evolving, but it must be a little terrifying as well, because you don't know what the landmarks are. There are no templates to use as a guide.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook's creating shows now. It used to be, I mean, when I grow up, I'm not that old, and I remember there was, you know, X amount of channels, and I remember watching Seinfeld at 9 o'clock every Thursday, and now it's between the DVRs and the Apple TVs and everything, it's just, there's so much content, there's so many areas that you can get involved in that you don't even know what's right for your stuff. Like, I put my stuff on a YouTube channel, and maybe I'm limiting myself and not putting it on enough channels, or, you know, there's different apps and this, that, and the other thing. But maybe I'm old school in that way of like giving people, okay, go here, and this is the one place that you can see it. But what Will was saying about like clicks, I mean, I've read articles in the Hollywood Reporter that say, you know, the talent. They're not so much looking for talent as they're looking for people that already bring their following.
They're looking for followers.
Right, I mean, Vimeo, which is another thing like YouTube, another video sharing site, they're doing their own original shows. I know a comic that did a special and released it on Vimeo.
On Vimeo.
Yeah, my colonoscopy video is on YouTube right now, and it's killing. I got millions of people looking up there every day.
Your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel is Comedy Flow.
Comedy Flow, right? FLO,
FLO. That's where they can find you. And your website is
comedyflow.net.
.net. Okay.
But everything that just links to social media. I mean, and then you can find information on IMDb and things like that.
I just have a question, and then real quickly, how does one who has no experience in the field get up the nerve to do a web series? Like, you know, like you said, you started in business, and you know, then you went into acting, comedy, but having no formal training in these things, and no film school, none of that. How do you get the nerve to say, I'm gonna make me a movie?
Well, I was writing scripts. I wrote my first script in 2003, and when I moved to New York, all I did was kind of knock on doors trying to get people to read my scripts. There was a couple times that I came close to raising anywhere between $30,000 and $2 million. And it just seemed that it always, and in the end, when it was time to put the sign on the dotted line, whatever investors or whatever weren't there. So I wrote 8 short films, and I said, okay, over the next 2 years, I'm going to shoot these. I have no clue how to do any of that. But at the time, I started doing background work on films and TV shows. So I would kind of slip away and watch how they're shooting it. And I kind of learned it that way. But I really just found, I said, okay, I need to team up with a director. So I went online, I posted ads looking for, hey, I'm a writer. And at that time, I was an actor now, and I said, I'm looking for a director. And I teamed up with a friend who now is a good friend of mine, and he had done a feature film. And then through that film, I learned, okay, these are kind of the, this is what I need. Okay, I didn't have enough food for everybody. Okay, let's rectify that. This time, it wasn't enough time to shoot, and then the next one becomes a little better, and the next one becomes better.
How many web series now?
I've done 4 web series and 9 short films.
Nice.
So, yeah.
You're an inspiration, my friend. You are. Yeah. Keep plugging in there. You really are.
Thank you.
Shows like this, shows like today, it makes me happy when we do what we do. And just meeting you and getting to learn your work. It's a great job. And thank you for joining us.
Oh, no, it's an honor to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you sit with us. I want to thank all of our panelists for being here today. A special thank you to Matt and our special guest panelist, Will Schreiner.
Yeah, I'm on MySpace if you need to find me.
I want to thank you for watching today. Spotlight on the Arts is a community program. That means we want you, the community, to get involved. You can subscribe to our email newsletter or simply drop us a line for suggestions or inspiration, anything you want. Our email address is spotlightonthearts@browardschools.com. And while you're at your computer, please go to floridatheateronstage.com and check out all the theater reviews and arts calendar and everything that's on there. There's a great amount of art in South Florida. We want you to be a part of it. Pick out a show, pick out a concert, pick out something that you want to go to. And as Iris Acker would always say, go to the theater. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.